Hey friends, welcome to Aromatic Chat, the podcast that introduces you to registered, clinical, and certified aromatherapists around the world. Every other week, I sit down with a different aromatherapist to learn about their aromatic journey and how they use aromatherapy in their lives and their businesses. I'm so glad that you've joined me today. If you haven't left a review for the podcast yet, please hop over to Apple Podcast and tell the world how much you enjoy hearing from aromatherapists every other week. I love that I'm able to step aside and let these amazing humans share their stories and their love for essential oils. Also, I can't wait to share a frappe with you through Buy Me a Coffee. Did you know that you can show your support directly to the show by buying me a coffee? I really love this because I'm not selling you anything or telling you how great someone else's product is. It's just you and me and a cup of joe. Well, a frappe or a tea for me. Yep, I made it all the way to my 50s and I still don't like coffee. Where are my non-coffee drinkers at? Aromatic Chat is my labor of love. My passion is helping other people succeed. So I produce this podcast as an extension of my business, Lemon Balm Coaching. I'm a master transformational coach and a registered aromatherapist. I use my mad skills to help overwhelmed men and women resurrect to a life they love. Is that you? How about someone you know? You'll want to head over to lemonbalmcoaching.com and schedule your complimentary discovery session today. That's right, complimentary. In this first session, you will create a sense of clarity about the life that you really want. You'll discover the essential building blocks for having the life of your dreams. And you'll determine the number one thing stopping you from having that life right now. Just click the link in the show notes to schedule your complimentary discovery call or visit lemonbalmcoaching.com to take the first step toward the life you're dreaming of right now. Oh my word, I am totally jumping out of my skin today. I'm beside myself because I'm chatting with Jirbie Go. Jirbie is a Philippine aromatherapist. Not only that, she is bringing this modality to her nation in an amazing way, and I can't wait for you to hear all about it. So, welcome to podcast episode number 55. Let's get started.
Hello.
¿Cómo está? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Wow, you've learned the Filipino word.
I did. I asked my friend Dobie. I was like, how do I say hello? She's like, just like Spanish. ¿Cómo está? I was like, okay.
That is correct. Hello, Melissa. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm so excited to talk with you. You're my neighbor. You're like right there. I can't see you, but you're right there.
Pretty much.
I just think that's great. I was checking out your website and I'm very curious. What do you offer on your Patreon?
It's a lot of DIY classes. So we have our candle making there, lotion making, a lot of hodgepodge of things that I do.
Beautiful. Oh, that's fabulous. And I know you do like you cut out things. I've seen you cutting out.
I do. I do a lot of things, actually.
You're all over the place. I love that. I'm very similar. I like to have my hands in a lot of different things because my brain needs that stimulation. If I'm just doing the same thing all the time, I get really like depressed and down. I like to switch it up.
I know what you mean. My mom cannot even keep up, with all the things that I do. She's like, what's your hobby now? Because it's always different every time we meet.
So what's your hobby today, Jirbie?
Oh, today, earlier I was making some wickless candles. So I'm exploring on that.
Oh, wow. Very cool. You're very creative. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting. There was something else I was going to ask. Just, cats. Cats.
Yes. I have more than 50 plus of them here. In this room, I have 13, I think 12 or 13 of them, but they're all sleeping right now.
Oh,
but I mean, every time I would have Zoom meetings with anyone, with Jade or with you, maybe later with anyone, they'd see some of my cats walking around past in front of me or sometimes at the back of me. So I'm sorry if sometimes they really like to expose themselves. These cats are really celebrity status.
Very friendly. You don't have to apologize for your cats. We're definitely animal people. It's okay if they make their presence known. We're okay with that. Jirbie, I am so excited to have you on the Aromatic Chat podcast. ¿Cómo estás?
Hello, I am good. How are you, Melissa?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited because you're over in the Philippines, which is right next door to Guam. So it's rare that I speak to somebody on this side of the planet. So I'm super excited. I see the sun behind you. The sun is shining where I am as well. Usually it's dark when I'm talking to the people. So this is very nice. I'm so glad to have you here. How is aromatherapy in the Philippines?
Well, it's growing day by day, hopefully year by year. I'm very happy since I started. It's a very different landscape now. And I'm very grateful to have been part of the growth, at least.
Yeah, that's exciting. I was actually talking with someone the other day, basically telling him I was getting ready to interview. It's my friend Dobie here on the island. And I was telling her, and she goes, I didn't know there was aromatherapy in the Philippines. And I said, this lady is like bringing it to the Philippines, really. And I mean, I just think that's amazing. What in the world made you want to become an aromatherapist? Because I just like Dobie said, there's aromatherapy in the Philippines. How did you
know,
get here?
right? Okay, so it all started when even before becoming a certified aromatherapist, I am an animal rescuer. I've been rescuing cats since 2016, 15. Right now, we have over 50 cats in our compound. We rescue and adopt these stray kittens or abandoned pets and rehabilitate them. As they become more and more in numbers, I started to develop allergic rhinitis, and then it turned into asthma. So when I would go to the doctor, they would probably just tell me to, get rid of all of their cats, and I wouldn't want that. So, so I had to think of ways on how to manage my allergies. For a time there, I was already taking loratadine every single day of my life, and I know that's not really great. I mean, it's gonna hurt my kidney and my liver after taking it for X number of years, right? So I had to look for ways, and I found out about essential oils. And then I remember I started with peppermint, lavender, and lemon, the very basic trio. And it worked for me. And with that, I was so fascinated because, oh my gosh, I didn't really have to take pills right now. My allergies have subsided. So I got really curious and dug into it deeper. And then I guess it's after a year of pretty much managing my allergic rhinitis, that is when I decided to take the classes or take the certification formally.
That's crazy. So your own personal allergies led you to essential oils and then essential oils to the certification. And what school did you get your certification through?
I went to Jade School. So it was New York Institute of Aromatic Studies then, but now it's the School for Aromatic Studies.
Okay, so we're going to ask an obvious question, or maybe it's not so obvious. You're in the Philippines.
Yes.
But you went to a school in New York. How did that work? How did you do that?
Okay, so at that time, they already have the distance learning program. So most of the things that we needed to finish and accomplish and do is already online. This is pre-pandemic. This was in 2018. So I think, I'm not so sure, but I think Jade School was one of the few who offers it online. The other school that I was checking to was Aromahead, I think. So it was just a toss between the two. And then eventually I went with that school because I wanted to study also about French aromatherapy. And I think it was the only school at that time who teaches that. So I got both courses, level 1 and French aromatherapy. And I really got to finish French aromatherapy. I finished level 1. But now I am on the way and taking my aromatic medicine. So that's level 3.
Beautiful. So you brought up French aromatherapy. For anyone listening who doesn't understand that there is a difference, can you explain that?
Okay, so I got really curious about it because at that time people were dancing in the controversy of ingestion. So I really wanted to get to the bottom of it. Like I wanted to learn about it in a proper school, in a reputable school, and that's why I took the course. French aromatherapy, as they say, is where ingestion originated. But as I learn more about it, it's not always the case. There's a time and place and a situation for ingesting oils. It's not something that you do every day, like your vitamins, casually. It's not that. It's a very, very strict protocol and
Right.
very, very precise. In X number of days, you cannot go beyond. It's like you're treating it like your antibiotics, a powerful one at that.
And there's specific ways to ingest.
Correct.
And
correct.
It's, yeah. So we'll just
Again, yes. Again, it's not to be done casually, right? It has to be guided by someone professional, someone who really knows what they're talking about.
Right, right. Oh, that's really great.
So I'm just glad I got into it earlier.
Yeah, for sure. And I do love the online learning platform because you can learn from anywhere in the world.
Correct.
I just think that's beautiful because I went to the American College of Healthcare Sciences, which is in Portland, Oregon, but I lived in San Antonio, Texas when I did that. So that was really nice to have that online learning option, even though I'm going to say my age here. The last time I had been in school, there was no internet. So there was a bit of a learning curve for me. You probably had it a little bit easier though, because I see how tech savvy you are on your social medias and everything.
I try.
Oh no, you do really great work. I'm very impressed. And you're showing up in a beautiful way that I don't see a lot of other aromatherapists showing up.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing really great work. What are you doing in the aromatic world? Because I did look at your website, Couch Wasabi, and it's more than just consultations. You offer consultations, but what are you doing?
Okay. My advocacy has always been part of education. Since I started dabbling into aromatherapy, I have thrown myself in the world of teaching, like workshops. I do consultations, not really directly to the end user, but more on the business side. So more on the companies, more on the brands who want to come out with natural formulations. I do consultations with a lot of the local essential oil company producers here and even essential oil brands here. And then I teach a lot. So since 2018, I've done a lot of workshops. I've partnered with some schools even. I've had workshops with colleges here. So yeah, it's more on education.
Okay, you mentioned the essential oil growers and suppliers there in the Philippines. Can you tell us just briefly, like what essential oils come out of the Philippines?
Oh, there's a lot. And I think this is my main platform, especially in joining AIA. I really wanted to bring forth like the things that we do here in the Philippines. So since being involved with these producers, these micro producers, we've met people who are producing LME oil. That's what I've spoken about in my first lecture at AIA. And then there's also the ilang-ilang producer, which I will be teaching this week at EOT, Essence of Time, with Colleen and Kelly. And then we have people producing here rosemary hydrosols. We also have bamboo hydrosol. Oh, that's amazing. We have bamboo essential oil, guava hydrosol and essential oil. Other things like soon, some of them will be producing agarwood. So I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for their production. Others, they also produce local Filipino citruses. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's this called calamansi.
We have that
calamondin. Oh my gosh, yeah. So amazing. It got me excited because it's hard to talk about these things. I mean, when I talk to America, like those in the...
please talk about the calamansi. Yes,
yeah. So,
actually, I was thinking about that as, because we have the local calamansi tea here. Just about every restaurant offers calamansi tea. And I kept thinking to myself, there's got to be a way.
Yes, there is. So we have it here. We have the calamansi essential oil. We also have another citrus that's very local here. It's called dalandan. Very close to lime. It's like a mix of lime and orange because the skin is green. It stays green, but the inside is orange. Okay. So it's like a cross of your regular mandarin orange and your citrus aurantum, your lime. So we have that. I try to seek for these producers who are producing like uniquely Filipino
Yes.
aromatic things.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing. I really it fires me up actually. I'm sure you can see my excitement right now.
Yes. And even if people aren't watching, they can hear it. The excitement.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about the calamansi. I would love to get some of that. Where can I get it?
Oh, I can send you a link where you can order them. I'm pretty much sure that they ship abroad. So it's called CDL Naturals.
Okay.
I'll send you a link.
Come on, it's just like a couple of hours. It's just a couple of hours.
Correct. I'm sure they send it.
All right, I would love to get some of the calamansi.
You will love it for sure.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I did see your post the other day that there is a Philippine trained aromatherapist here on the island of Guam now.
Yes. She took her certification also from a school in the US, because right now we don't have a school here in the Philippines teaching aromatherapy. We are coming out one. Jade Shoots and I have partnered, so we are actually coming out, and that's towards like fourth quarter of this year. So around this time.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. But I wanted to say I loved that on your social media you were sharing her journey as well. And it was more about like, let's promote other aromatherapists instead of, keeping it all to myself, because I am a firm believer in community over competition. So I just really wanted to let you know that I saw that post. I even reached out to her and I haven't heard back, but I said, I would love to get together with you. I mean, we're both here on Guam. We could collaborate and do things. So anyway, I was just really excited to see that. Yeah,
actually that's the goal. APA, so the group that we have formed, I wanted to promote other aromatherapists here in the Philippines. It's not just only me. We have like 5 other people here in the Philippines who are taking their certifications, who have already graduated recently. So I firmly believe that in that as well. I promote having creative, nurturing community versus very toxic kind of competition.
Yes,
so I'm very happy that you mentioned that.
I love that. Thank you so much. So you work mostly with businesses, not necessarily one-on-one with people?
Yes.
What is something that someone would seek you out for in a business relationship? What would that look like?
Usually they come up to me whenever they wanted to confirm if what they're doing is safe. So it's more on EO safety, like their dilutions. A lot of these business owners don't really know about like dermal limits. If they're coming out with blends, with products, they don't really know about those things. More on safety, and sometimes they consult with me like what oil goes well with this oil, or so those common things.
Oh, that's beautiful. So it's more like they're trying to create a product for the market, and then you're helping them on the back end with that.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. And is it mostly in the Philippines that people seek out your expertise? Okay.
Yes.
That's great. And I have a question. I know that in Korea, they're not allowed to practice therapeutic aromatherapy. They're only allowed to practice cosmetology. Cosmetic. That's the word. Cosmetic. Is it the same in the Philippines, or can you do therapeutic as well?
Pretty much it's more on cosmetic, but I feel that they're going around it because they come out as blends, and these blends aren't really exactly just cosmetic, right? If it's just cosmetic, it's all for the scent. And what else is going on there? It doesn't end there actually. So I think they're trying to augment that. We are trying to. I mean, I feel that the more you educate people, and that's where education comes in. The more you educate people, whether the end users, the business, the producers, even the government agencies, the more they realize that it's so much more than cosmetic. And we hope at least to bring forth that kind of aromatherapy here in the Philippines soon.
What is your favorite essential oil today?
I've been very, very into ilang-ilang. It's because I'm researching about it for my presentation, and I learned so much about it in the past few weeks. Did you know we also have ilang-ilang gin here?
No.
Oh my God, it smells floral. I can't wait to turn it into a martini.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I wonder if we have it here too.
Oh, you should ask around, maybe.
I should totally ask around because we do have the tree growing on
Oh my
island.
God. We're like very close sisters, Guam and the Philippines, right?
We are. We should totally get together and have some ube. Love ube.
Oh wow.
Oh, love ube. I've made ube tea, ube scones. I love having halaya on my toast.
Oh my God.
I mean, just like I'm all about the ube here.
Girl, you have ube hair.
I do. I do. Oh, and the ube cheesecake. Oh my gosh,
so
to
good.
die for. Oh, so good. What are you working on right now that's got you really excited? You already mentioned that you're studying up on ylang-ylang and getting ready to do a presentation on that, but is there something else you're working on that's got you really excited?
Right now I'm trying to work on my level 3, my aromatic medicine, of course, in time for the opening of the school, because we also plan to bring level 3 here in the Philippines. So it's not just foundations class. We also want for people who would want to learn more about it in that advanced stage. So we wanted also, Jade and I talked about it, and Jade and I wanted to bring it also here. We also look forward to bringing people here. So if you're coming to the Philippines, I'd love to take you around. We'd love for you guys to meet like our local aromatherapists, our students here, those who are studying about aromatherapy certification. I think just bringing people together, it excites me, especially when I organized the summit last year. It was amazing. It's the first time in the Philippines to have ever had such a thing, and people got really excited. From the feedback that I got from the participants, they were like, I never really thought this is possible. We always see this online in other countries, but we never really thought that it's possible to be done here in the Philippines. And I'm just very happy that we were able to do it. It's like breaking barriers, right?
Yes, you're a visionary for the Philippines. You're looking ahead for what's coming and what's possible. I really, really love that. So I was just thinking as you were talking, aromatherapy retreat in the Philippines.
Of course, soon. Of course, that's in the pipeline. So we also have we also try to explore like tourism. Those things are like part of tourism program, right? So we've spoken with distillers here. If we can offer like distilling tours or retreats like those, because we already have yoga retreats here, so it's not something foreign to the Filipinos actually.
Oh,
And even before, like even 2019, even in 2018, some of my students have been asking, don't we have like an out of town thing where you teach us about us? And I'm like, okay, wait, girls. We have so many things to do before we go to that point, right? I feel that I wanted to educate more people first before doing all of those things, just so they would appreciate the experience further.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm on this side of the planet right now. I would love to help you get something like that together.
Oh my gosh, that would be exciting.
I mean, because it's what, a 3 or 4 hour flight is all it is.
Yeah.
To get to the Philippines. So I would love that. We need to talk offline and figure out how to make that happen. I think that would be fabulous. Okay. Because you're on the education front lines, building this program in the Philippines, bringing aromatherapy to light there. And I've already said you're visionary. You're looking ahead to what is coming and the excitement of what's on the horizon. Where do you see aromatherapy heading in the future? Because you're really on the leading edge with everything that you're doing. And you've got a vision. I know you have a bigger vision than just what you've shared here today. So where do you see aromatherapy heading globally? And then again, even just in the Philippines? So that's actually 2 different questions.
So at least for the Philippines, I wanted people to be more educated. I think before we think about all of those impact, a greater impact, I think I wanted to touch at least the girls who are very much interested about it. Before, during my time in 2018, 2019, nobody even knows there's an aromatherapy school, not even here in the Philippines nor abroad. Yeah, to like, oh, there is an aromatherapy. That's why your friend asked you, oh, there's aromatherapy in the Philippines, because nobody knew about it. The Filipinos would have a very, very rich herbalism, plant medicine culture. It's not
Right.
nothing new to us, right? I'm sure
Same
with
here.
you
Yep.
people there, yeah. But dealing with essential oils, distilling, it's something new to us back then. So now, because of the pandemic, more people have been using essential oils. And that is where more danger that's coming in, because more people are using it haphazardly. And
Right.
that is where I want to come in. That is where I want APA, our Filipino aromatherapy group, to come in to provide education. We provide a lot of free webinars almost every month. Before, it was almost every other week. Now it's almost every month. It's free for everyone who wanted to listen in and join. Aside from that, again, we're coming out with the aromatherapy school. So I wanted to make sure to cover all the bases about education, support them with all of those information, and then hopefully, once more people are more knowledgeable about it, more experts from the Philippines are here, I wanted also to bring the Philippine aromatherapy closer to what they're doing, or how they're doing it in Europe, in like in ICANN. ICANN is like, wow, that's amazing. People are actually using it in a hospital setting, in a clinical setting.
Right.
I know it's a long shot, but it's possible. I think with the right baby steps. You can't just jump into it. Hey, I cannot just appear in a hospital and talk to the board and say, hey, I am an aromatherapist, and present myself. It's not gonna happen that way. It
Right.
takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of steps before people can be open to that. And I think it's possible. It's just that it's not now. And
Mhm.
hopefully, with the things that we're doing and the things that like we are doing with the collaborations with different agencies here, hopefully we can bring it into fruition sooner than how people may think. Like the summit, right? People never really thought that it's possible. They
Right.
thought that it's something that's 10 years down the lane, 10 years down the line, but we made it happen last year. So yeah, something that's what I want for the Philippine aromatherapy landscape, at least. Internationally, I still hope that a lot of the other countries would integrate it in their hospital setting. I know some country, like it's different per country. I was talking to Salvatore Battaglia about it. He was telling me that Japan, I think, is going towards it, right? Like their hospitals are being open about it. Korea is not. I've been to Korea a lot of times. I go there almost every year, and I see that it's all cosmetic. You are right. They can only deal with aromatherapy with their candles and soaps and everything. Right now, the Philippines is like that, but I feel that it's slowly moving. It's slowly progressing. So I'm not so sure with the US. I know you guys are better at it, right? You have clinical aromatherapists there.
They do, the US does have clinical aromatherapy, but it's in pockets. If this hospital will allow it. It's up to each individual organization whether or not they'll allow it in. And then do you have someone who's trained clinically to be able to do that program? So it's not as widespread as we would like for it to be. It's still very micro pockets, little pockets of clinical aromatherapy happening around the United States.
But for sure, you girls, like I see the things that Marnie Raven is doing. I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of these girls are really like trying to be how they're doing it, at least in France.
Yes. And what Marnie is doing is
It's
just
amazing.
groundbreaking,
Yeah,
because she's setting it up. She's
correct.
setting it up to be normal.
Correct. And that's really important, at least
Yeah.
for someone to step up and, just raise the flag and just be a
Yes.
trailblazer. That's really important.
Yeah. So it's happening. It's just very
Yeah.
slow. How can people find you and what you're doing? Because you're doing so much. How can people find what you're doing? How can they find you?
Okay. The easiest is they can just search on whatever platform, Google, whatever. Just search for couch wasabi. Couch as in couch potato, and then wasabi, one word. Couch wasabi. Just search for that and you'll find me for sure.
Okay.
I'm all over the place. So I am on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I am on TikTok. I try to be. I'm on everywhere. Just search for Couch Wasabi and I will appear. If I didn't appear, just search for Jirbie, my name. I should
Okay.
appear for sure.
Okay. How in the world did you come up with the name Couch Wasabi?
Okay, so that I started Couch Wasabi in 2008. And then it was about blogging. So I was a blogger here in the Philippines, one of the pioneer as well. I was thinking of couch potato, but I said I am not the couch potato. I'm like a bee, I buzz everywhere, like what I mentioned. I do a lot of things. So and I really like wasabi, and I thought, hey, that's a unique name, couch wasabi. So yeah, I have been using couch wasabi since 2008.
Nice.
And people know
Wasabi.
me as couch wasabi here.
I love that because wasabi is spicy and
Oh my god, I love.
you are spicy.
Thank you, but I love wasabi.
You go, girl. You are spicy. I love that. Love that. So as an educator in the aromatherapy arena, what is a concept or a term that you find yourself explaining over and over and over because people just don't understand?
Definitely ingestion. They think that it's all right to take their lemon in their water and take it like their vitamin C, especially during the pandemic. More people have been doing it. And then more, I'd have to repeat it. Please don't do that. It's not really safe. You won't really know that you're hurting yourself until it's too late, right? There's permanent esophageal damage. People don't really talk about that.
Right.
So we try to educate them about ingestion. Luckily, people see me as someone credible here because I actually took the certification and because I actually tried to put time into learning French aromatherapy. And so people really think that I'm a thought leader here. People really think that I'm a thought leader here, which I'm very grateful for their trust. And that is, yeah, time and again, I would repeat that education is very important for you to get your education in a credible source, not just on Google. I know Google is easy and fast and free, but not everything on Google is correct. We know that by now, right?
I hope so. I hope the world knows that by now. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Over the past 2 years, I see a lot of people delving into aromatherapy and essential oils more. I see a lot of them taking thieves more, lemon more. It's really scary. And that is why we try to ramp up our efforts in education. We provide all of these webinars. The sad thing there is even some of the producers that I talk to, they would say, "Oh, we put rosemary oil in my drink and I drink it 3 times." Oh no, please don't do that. I try to put them in place, but graciously, of course. I don't want to embarrass anyone, and
Right.
thankfully, people listen.
Yeah. Well, people just don't understand that it's concentrated plant matter.
Correct. I think there's still a lot of work to do, especially in teaching about it. Like some of the people within the MLM companies, I also see them taking up their certification. I hope that their certification would do them well and translate it into the things that they would teach in the future.
Right.
Not, right now a lot of things, a lot of information are very irresponsible. So hopefully, in the future, things will be better.
Right. Well, I was just thinking about that when you were saying that information, which is what you'll get from a multi-level marketing company, is information. Education is totally different.
Yes.
Right.
I hope to inspire other people with. Like I'm one of the few aromatherapists here in the Philippines. I started really early. When I graduated, I know that there are only 3 other girls who are certified, but they were not like practicing or they were not as involved as I was. So I'm very happy. Like now, 4 years down the line, a lot more girls are like April, right? And then we also have this guy. He's a grass trained perfumer and a certified aromatherapist. So anything
wow.
about natural perfumery, I just move people there, like get to know him. He would know, like he would be the best person to talk about it. So I like working with other aromatherapists here in the Philippines because there's no competition. I feel like when all of us with that level of expertise work together, it would provide more impact. It would benefit more people versus just, trying to block all the audience and trying to make them listen just to me. So it's very
Right.
important to work with other people. Like us, we're collaborating through AA and with the other professional aromatherapy organizations. That is how I realized that, you know what, we should bring all of these things also in the Philippines, because that is the only way we can improve our current aromatherapy landscape.
Yes. Oh, you're doing such amazing stuff. So inspiring. But the question I have is who do you look to for inspiration? Because you have such great vision for what's to come there in the Philippines. Who is it that keeps you going?
Okay, in the aromatherapy world, I'm very, very inspired of Rhiannon. I think she's my peg because she's so kind. I'm not saying
She
I'm
is.
kind. I know I'm a little feisty sometimes, but she's so kind, and I wanted to emulate that kindness. Also, Kelly. When I met Kelly, I was just so inspired by what she's doing, and I'm very grateful that she got me as the Philippine Airmed ambassador for the Philippines. So I also work with her a lot. And I like the way these two girls are doing their thing, especially Rhiannon. You see how much she's like putting people together, linking them up with one another. And even through the screen, like whenever you read her text, you can just sense her kindness. And I hope to emulate that that level of kindness. I feel is important because I also realized that right now in the Philippines, as more people are into essential oils and aromatherapy, sometimes you can't really just come up to them and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong, because there will always be that they will just shut you out.
Yes.
Right, especially if that person don't even know me, they would like say, for you to tell me that. My sister just said I can do this, for you to tell me that. So I feel that kindness is important. Advocating education is important, but there should always be a level of kindness so that the other person will be open to take that information. If not, we will go nowhere for sure. So ever since I started, and even with the way that I talk to people, I know I meet a lot of people that we may sometimes just don't see eye to eye, but I try to provide a level of respect and at least kindness so that I can influence them to at least question their current knowledge and maybe to influence them to take formal education or certification. So luckily, luckily with all the people that I've talked to, I haven't really like got into an argument about not ingesting or about meat application. At least a lot of the people that I talk to, they're pretty much open. And I think it's
That's
all
awesome.
it's all because of the approach, right? Approach is
Yeah,
so important.
that's that old saying, you catch more flies with honey
Oh
than with
yes.
vinegar.
Yes.
Oh yeah, being sweet. That's awesome. So kind. As we get ready to close out, I always like to just hand over the floor to my guest to share any final words that you might have. I know you've already shared so much inspiration, but is there anything else that you would like to share with my listeners?
Well, I'm just excited that I'm here with you, Melissa. It's always nice to work with different aromatherapists here and abroad. It really makes me happy whenever someone would reach out and try to collaborate. So thank you so much for inviting me. And for the guests, if you want to get to know more about me and the things that I do, you can check out my website. That's www.couchwasabi.com. For those of you who are in the Philippines, we will be coming out with our first aromatherapy certification school in the Philippines. So it's actually called Aromatherapy Institute of the Philippines. We already have our Instagram. We will release or launch our website soon. If you want to be a part of the wait list, there's like a link on the Instagram where you can sign up so that you will be updated as soon as the school is open. Right now, we are looking into having an online school because the borders here in the Philippines is not that okay yet. We've only had 50% of the population vaccinated. So we have a long way to go. And so we're just launching the school for now through online, but it's a blended type of learning. So we will be having like field trips together.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's all for now.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Is the school going to be in English or Tagalog?
It's in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So would this school be an opportunity for anyone in the world to attend?
No. My agreement with Jade is we will be focusing on the Filipinos. Filipinos. So Filipinos in the Philippines, just Filipinos. You'd have to provide like a Filipino or a Philippine address because we will be having offline learning sessions, right? So it's a blended type of learning. Not everything will be online. So we may send you like class kits,
That's
different
awesome.
things.
That's awesome. I love that because most of the online is all online. So you're creating something very unique.
Yeah,
Again,
it's called blended
creating
learning.
something unique. Again, Jirbie, something unique in the Philippines. I love that. What a draw for the people of the Philippines. How do you see, one final question, I'm sorry, I'm just so intrigued by you. Economically,
Mhm.
I'm not sure how the economy is in the Philippines, but how do you see aromatherapy helping the economy of the Philippines?
Over the past 2-3 years, more and more essential oil or aromatherapy brands have popped up here and there.
Mm.
So I'm sure that it's growing and it will still grow because over the past 2 years during the pandemic, I see a lot more people being involved with the MLM companies. So it's growing. And that is where I got inspired to bring in the school because as more people are using it, I think more people should be more knowledgeable about it as well, right? They should
Mhm.
be getting it. Bringing in the school here makes it more accessible to more Filipinos. Number two, I've already spoken with Jade. We made sure that the prices would be reasonable for the Filipinos. One of the barriers that kept people from taking their certification 4 or 5 years ago, it's because it's so expensive for us.
Right.
Um, $2,000 is a lot of money for us. I had to close my eyes when I enrolled.
Oh, I know. I've been
Right?
there. I've been there. Yes.
So I worked with Jade about the pricing. I told her that I have this vision. I wanted to bring education to more Filipino girls, to take the certification or at least to take it more formally. And she agreed. We agreed to bring the price more reasonable for the Filipinos. That's why it's important that for all the people who's enrolling with our school, they have to be Philippine based,
That's
right? Because we
amazing.
have to protect Jade. Everybody's interest, reasonable interests for everyone there.
Yes. I love that. I love that. And then because you're working with Kelly and the AirMid Institute, you're also bringing that sustainability mindset
Yes,
to the growers. And
correct, correct. And
Jirbie,
even to the school, I wanted
yes.
to bring that part, the sustainability part, as part of our curriculum. Because I also feel that it should start with the people using it, not just those who are producing it.
Oh, Jirbie, you are amazing. First of
Thank you.
all, have to say that. Just amazing. I love the vision that you have for the Philippines. Your energy is palpable. I can feel it through the screen. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on to Aromatic Chat and sharing your story and sharing everything you're doing in your beautiful country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. I'm so happy to come across you. I think first time at AIA. I saw you there first. And
Yes.
then I'm just so happy that right now we're doing this. And hopefully in the future we'll be collaborating. Yeah, with
Yes.
the yoga retreat. Yes, I'm open to
Yes,
that.
please. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Thank you so much, Jirbie.
Thank you so much.
Kindness. Close your eyes and just imagine a world where we all spoke with kindness. Consider the impact that our words would have through the veil of kindness. Think about how much more your heart would be willing to hear a message that's delivered with kindness. Take a deep breath and allow that feeling to overwhelm your mind and your body and your spirit. I am so intrigued by Jirbie Go, the aromatic visionary of the Philippines. I hope that you are as inspired by her words, her kindness, and her presence as I am. You will want to follow Couch Wasabi on all of your social media platforms to keep up on all that Jirbie is doing in the aromatic world, and with her kitty rescue. I'm so glad you joined me today as I chatted with this fiery aromatherapist. Be sure to check out the show notes for the links mentioned in today's episode and subscribe to Aromatic Chat on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Aromatic Chat is produced by Lemon Balm Coaching, personalized, transformational coaching for men and women struggling to keep their heads above the flood of overwhelm in their lives. and success coaching for aromatherapy students. Remember, you can support the podcast at buymeacoffee.com/AromaticChat. And you can connect with me, your holistic life coach and registered aromatherapist, on Instagram and at lemonbalmcoaching.com. I will see you next time with our next episode. Until then, peace, love, and aromatics.